Hello, everyone. I'm Julie Harker with Brownfield Ag News, and with me today is Jason Berkland, who's the Associate Vice President of Risk Management with Nationwide Insurance. Jason, we're glad to have you here to talk about the importance of Grain Bin Safety Week, which is something that Nationwide has really taken on and done a lot with to raise awareness. Tell me about those efforts.
Yeah, Julie, again, thanks for having me. So the nationwide grain bin or the Grain Bin Safety Week was started in 2014, and it's an advocacy campaign. We want to get awareness out there to issues around grain and grain bins and grain entrapments. Far too many farmers perish, or grain handlers perish from entering grain bin without the proper safety procedures or the safety equipment that they need.
Right. So you guys, in terms of your outreach, you're also trying to highlight the importance of uh, the involvement of people who can help with the rescue efforts, such as firemen. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so educational is the big piece. We want all farmers and grain handlers to be aware around the exposures, but there is a component here. It's the Nominate Your Fire Department contest. And within the Grain Bin Safety Week website, you can go in and nominate your local fire department. We award grain tubes, grain rescue tubes that the fire departments are awarded, and then also training on how to use that equipment and how to perform a rescue. Each year, Nationwide works with numerous partners to call for nominations for fire departments across the country.
That which you bring to mind the importance of the grain rescue tubes, which again is something that is a fairly recent development, isn't it? And you guys are trying to get more of those out there.
Yeah, they've been around for a while, but we've really pushed this as part of the program. We want local fire departments that are in rural communities to have this equipment and these tools in case something does occur where they need to perform a rescue. Again, the basis behind the advocacy program is the education of farmers and grain handlers about the exposures and risks associated with grain and grain bins. But this is a big component to that rescue piece if something does occur.
Sure. Well, I'm glad you're here to talk to us specifically because, as you know, our audience is farmers. And I know that farmers have a general sense, of course, about safety at all times, but there are times when they get busy. And so, if you could kind of talk us through or talk to the farmer right now about what are the most important things for them to have front of mind and in place in the event of a potential accident.
Yeah, planning is the biggest thing. If you have grain that's gone out of condition, or you have bridging grain, or you just need to get in the bin to check things, planning is the biggest thing. Have your proper safety equipment available, your personal protective equipment, including ropes and lockout, tag out for no running equipment while you're in the bin. And then the other big piece is a spotter and attendant. Have somebody there with you. We don't want anybody in the bin, but if they have to, we don't want anybody going in the bin when there's not somebody there to call for help or to stop things or to try and rescue.
Now, Jason, does that speak to I'm trying to think of a good word for that, farmers' independence, so to speak, thinking that they can manage it just fine on their own.
Yes, it does. It speaks to the independence. It speaks of a family also. You know, if you're a family farmer, you may have your spouse available to come out there and watch. You may have a son or daughter that's available to come and watch. That's really what we're looking for, is just another set of eyes in case something goes wrong. They can stop things and get help right away, because in 4 seconds you can become engulfed knee deep in flowing grain. In 20 seconds, you can be completely buried, and the chance of survival after that is pretty minimal.
Well, that's a pretty stark reminder right there. 4 seconds, I think, is just the few words that I just spoke right now, and we're already into a good 20 seconds. So,
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
doesn't take long.
Right. So ropes, having somebody on standby. What about a speed dial to your local fire department on your phone?
Yeah, yeah, all of that would be important. And then knowing if your fire department has that equipment, or who does. Again, the Nominate Your Fire Department contest, we've awarded over 150 grain tubes the last 8 years, and that's across 29 states. So we're really trying to get those tubes out to the rural areas that maybe don't have the equipment, don't have the training, the volunteer fire departments, and prepare them in case something does happen. Of that 152 tubes that we've awarded, four have been used in actual rescues. And we're happy to say we saved, potentially 4 lives from people that were entrapped.
Tell us how the tubes work, Jason.
Yeah, so the tube comes in sections, so that way you can get it into the bin. And then as you get to the entrapped person or the engulfed person, you will build a dam or a circle around them with the panels sliding together. This stops the flow of grain from continuing to go over the entrapped victim. And then that way we can start scooping them out and we'll push the tube down as we scoop the grain out. At some point they'll be free enough, or there'll be enough grain removed where they can free themselves, climb out of the tube, and then hopefully out to safety.
I'm sure you have all the grim statistics, but it's important for us to understand if the timing between the entrapment and getting the tube. What is the general timing before it becomes a potential fatality?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of those statistics, but it takes a while. I mean, the person, if you get things shut down, again, hopefully an attendant or somebody is there spotting. If hopefully we're not in the bin at all with equipment running, but if we get things shut down, if the grain stops flowing, you're going to be trapped for a while. Most rescues take on average, hours to kind of get people there, get a plan, get the rescue tubes there, get them in safely, and then to get the grain out of the tube so the person can free themselves. It's not a quick rescue by any means.
What is the ideal, and I know again, ballpark timing between when the incident occurs and the fire department gets there?
Yeah, it's gonna vary depending on how far away you are from the volunteers, how far they are away when they get the call. But I would say you're probably looking at 20 minutes before you're really getting any first responders or anybody on your bin site or where the issue has occurred.
But they can survive if that's the case. In other words, it's not a definite fatality.
Yeah, yep, you can
Okay.
survive. Just like I said, we've had 4 of our tubes actually used for rescues, and there's been many other tubes used for rescues
Yeah.
to save farmers or grain handlers that have been entrapped.
Well, thank you for bringing this again to our attention. And it's something that I know you guys are working on, not just during Grain Bin Safety Week, but year round. If anybody has any curiosity about how that works, where would you point them for more information?
Yeah, I would point them to our website, thinkgrainbinsafety.com or grainbinsafetyweek.com. They can go to either one. That will show you the educational materials out there. We talk about the zero entry mentality for farmers and grain handlers. But if you have to go in, things do come up where you have to go in. What are the proper safety procedures? And we've got tips and ideas and things out there available for them to use. And then this is also where you can go to nominate your local fire department
Okay.
as part of that contest. We receive about 1,000 nominations every year. And from that, we award as many rescue tubes and training as our funding provides. And we accept partners and sponsors as well through our website.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this information. Very, very important. Jason Berkland, Associate Vice President of Risk Management with Nationwide Insurance. I'm Julie Harker on Brownfield.